Welcome to another beautifully raining day in Southern California. Well, it happens. I know everybody else in the country is dealing with snow and we get a little rain, but we can't fly. So anyway, a couple of really big things hit the internet last night. Race day drones. Race day. Yeah, I think it was Race Day drones. They're going to be taking over Rotor Riot's basically parts department. They're going to take care of all of the shipping and handling and warehousing of all of the Rotor Riot parts. That's actually a really big deal and a really good thing for Rotor Riot. Being that there were some complaints about how Rotor Riot was handling some of their shipping and parts handling and stuff like that. So that's going to be a good one for them. I'm glad to hear that, actually, because that's going to put Rotor Riot right up on top with everybody else. The other, it's really not uncommon though. Let me tell you why. I think it was last year, Flight Test made a deal with Maiden Hobbies, and it did two things. One, it kind of took the burden of warehousing and shipping off, a majority of it off of the Flight Test guys, and on the other side, it also expanded their the amount of product that they had on their website. So that was a good thing, I think. With Flight Test, I believe it worked out pretty well for them. In other news, at least in my house, this is about Horizon Hobbies again, and it's nothing bad. So I have the Timber X that we've been trying to do a Maiden video. Well, the rudder came off, and it wouldn't necessarily be that big of a deal, but we couldn't find it, and so therefore I haven't been flying that. I've been waiting. So I decided to contact Horizon Hobbies because it literally pulled the hinges out. It wasn't glued very well. Contacted Horizon Hobbies, emailed them to the customer service, and they emailed me back the same day and said, no problem, we're going to send you out another one. I'm thinking, great, this is awesome. Well, I thought they were going to send the rudder. No, they're sending me a whole fuse kit because the rudder comes with the fuselage. No questions asked, no pictures. There's no other damage to it, but there's no pictures or anything like that they asked for. They're just sending it out. I got the confirmation this morning that it shipped this morning. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. This is awesome. So Horizon Hobbies, thank you very much for your customer service and the faith that you have in your customers. that right there is really cool to me. Other news here, I Maiden something the other day. I just did a short Maiden, but let me tell you something. I got to show you this. All right, y'all know what the Mini Drak is, right? Well, I've had this one a while. It's been kind of taking me a little while to build it. I still don't have my Dragon Link on it yet, but oh my god, dude, this thing is a ripper, man, and it flies like it's on rails. I set this up exactly like Chris Click and the guys, and also my friends at Team Legit told me how to do it. They kind of walked me through it, and first throw, I was actually just a little off on the CG. I flew it anyway, but if you like fast, precise wings, and let me tell you, you are precise on this thing. It is literally locked in. I ended up, because I'm a high rate flyer, I like flying with a little bit of expo and higher rates. I like the things to move around a bit. I had to keep dialing it back to a point where it was actually almost uncomfortable for me how much I had to dial it back. But let me tell you, the thing is a ripper. The thing hauls butt. But it's as locked in as anything I've ever flown before. Chris Click, awesome job, dude. And all the guys at Team Legit helped me get the thing together. And let me tell you what, man, this thing is this is going to be my addiction with any FPV airplanes I'm going to do. But I am going to tell you this. If you're going to fly this thing, make sure you have a ton of room. This thing covers a lot of ground extremely fast. If you've never really considered getting one, you know what? Get one, because you definitely won't be disappointed by it. I flew it for, I want to say, I'm going to have to review the video, but I think I was somewhere around 12 minutes or so on a 2654 cell. flying half throttle and a couple wide open blasts, and I think I came back with about 52% on the battery yet. So you can run up to a 5,000 milliamp in there and it'll work perfect. But that thing is, you're going to see a lot of videos from that. Definitely check it out. And now they have coming out, the prototype's already been out. Rag Nuts Off and a couple of guys have already done some reviews of the Nano Drak, which after flying this, I am totally excited about seeing the Nano Drak. So we're going to see that one coming. But in other news, in the Inland Empire area of Southern California where I live, there's a lot of FPV guys that love flying quads and drones and all that stuff, and even wings. And so what we're starting kind of in the planning process at the moment is we're kind of starting to plan to try and do either an FPV day or a weekend locally here, and see if we can get a place where we can do this without having any issues. But we're kind of in the planning stages right now. Myself, Chris Bernardo from Rides, Flights, and Everything Nice. And by the way, if you haven't seen his YouTube channel, you need to check it out. He does some really cool reviews. Rides, Flights, and Everything Nice. That and some of the Rotor Riot community guys have kind of talked about wanting to do this. So we're kind of in the planning stages. I would like to know if any of you guys that are in the Southern California area would like to do that. We'll just get together and find a big area, maybe a park or somewhere. I mean, we've got a couple ideas in mind, but we need to talk to the city about it and see if we can do it. If you guys are interested, please leave a comment below and I will keep you in touch with how the planning's going. We will be doing it sometime mid-year. We don't expect it to be a flight fest or anything like that, but we do expect quite a few people, so we would like to have a little bit of pre-interest to see how far we need to go with it. Other than that, we're waiting for the weather to clear so we can get some more flying out of the way. Oh, the extra 300. I've probably flown that more than anything right now, and let me tell you, the more I fly it, the more I love it. Now that I've kind of figured out the CG, which is actually just a hair further back than what they suggest, the 3D with the thing is really a blast. But I also like flying some fast-paced aerobatics, so it's pretty nice because you can just move the weight forward a little bit. But that thing is it's a really nice airplane, and I'm happy with the changes that they made from the previous 300 model, which was the other maker's model. The changes that they made, and I actually bound it with AS3X the other day just to try it out, and it's really not too intrusive. It's a little more intrusive than, say, what it would be with one of Kike's airplanes, because it's not quite as tuned for the 3D stuff as Kike's planes would be. But let me tell you, it's really a lot of fun to fly. The only issue I had with the 300 was I had a problem with one of the gimbals on my radio, which was giving me a little bit of down elevator as I'd start to bring the elevator stick back. And it was just when I needed to flare a little bit to land, and it parked it real hard. So I bent the landing gear, didn't do any other damage to it, bent the landing gear and nicked the prop. And by the way, it's a wood prop. So I've got another landing gear on the way as soon as they start carrying them. But I just bent this back to fly with it the way it is. But if you haven't gotten to try out a 300 3D, you might want to do that. They're really awesome. But the Timber X, for any of you that like STOL stuff, but you also like to twist the things around a little bit, that Timber X is just a fantastic airplane. And I know everybody and their mom has one now. But luckily we were one of the first ones in the country to have one, which I thought was pretty cool. So other than that, that's about it for right now. We're waiting for the weather to clear up. Chris from Rides, Flights, and Everything Nice, and I have a long list of things that we want to do on the channel and on his, so hopefully we can get the weather to do that. So anyway, just a couple updates, and thanks a lot for watching. Like and subscribe. We're getting more stuff going. It's been a lot of work behind the scenes. I know we haven't been putting a lot up on the Flying Greek channel, but there's actually been a lot of work in the background. So it's starting to ramp up. So thanks a lot for watching, you guys. And again, if you're interested in our FPV day that we're talking about doing in the Inland Empire, please leave a comment below. I will stay in touch with you, and I will keep you updated on our progress. Other than that, I guess I'm going to have to build something because I can't go fly right now. So you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.